Hi everyone, in today's video on the Hittites, we will briefly discuss the most famous battle of the Bronze Age Near East, the Battle of Kadesh. The rising tensions between the Hittites and New Kingdom Egypt over southern Syria finally erupted into open warfare in 1274 BC. Rameses II, keen to reassert control over the strategically important city of Kadesh, marched forth from Egypt at the head of a large army that consisted of 4 divisions, each named after one of the gods of Egypt, that each contained infantry and chariots. These divisions were named the Amun, this division was led by Pharaoh himself, Re, Pater, and Seth. The Hittites, according to Egyptian sources, brought an army of around 47,500 men to fight at Kadesh, with a chariot force of 3,500 chariots. Hittite chariots, when compared to Egyptian chariots, were heavier and slower, though each vehicle contained 3 crew, whereas Egyptian chariots only had 2 riders per chariot. The Egyptian army hoped to reach Kadesh first, and when on their march north from Egypt, this plan was apparently confirmed when 2 Hittite defectors came to the Egyptians and claimed that the Hittite army was far to the north of Kadesh, near Halpa, modern-day Aleppo. Feeling confident that all was going to plan, Rameses, whose Amun division was leading the way, reached Kadesh and began to set up camp near the city on the western side of the river Orontes. The rest of the 3 Egyptian divisions were still marching northwards, with each division being separated by several miles from one another. However, little did Pharaoh know that the 2 defectors had lied about the location of the Hittite army, which was camped nearby in a concealed position on the eastern side of the Orontes near Kadesh. This deception was soon discovered when Egyptians captured 2 Hittite scouts, who soon revealed the true location of the Hittite army. Rameses quickly sent orders for the remaining 3 divisions to force march to meet him near Kadesh. However, as the Rare division was approaching, a large Hittite chariot force that had been sent to scout to the south of Kadesh took advantage of the opportunity and smashed into the approaching Rare division, which brief battle resulted in the destruction and dispersion of the Rare division. With the Amun division vulnerable, the Hittite chariots hurtled north and charged into the Amun division while they were setting up their camp. After the initial shock of the chariot attack on the camp, Pharaoh led his rallied forces against the Hittite chariots, who, apparently believing that the battle was already over and desiring to take booty from the camp, had ceased their attack and were therefore left vulnerable to an Egyptian counter-attack. The now battered Hittite chariot force fled southwards back to safety while being pursued by the Egyptians. Meanwhile, Muwatalli, seeing the flight of his chariot force, assembled an ad hoc army and crossed the Orontes to attack the eastern side of the Amun camp. Unexpectedly, an Egyptian relief force from Amurru arrived from the north and attacked the Hittite army marching towards the camp of Amun. Muwatalli was forced to retreat back across the river. It is at this time that the leading elements of the Pater division reached the battlefield. With their arrival, the first day of the battle apparently came to an end, with both sides being badly mauled and requiring time to regroup and reform. It seems that the battle continued into a second day, though this achieved little for either side. The battle ended in what was basically a draw, with neither side having achieved a distinct advantage over the other, and both armies having suffered heavy casualties. However, with Kadesh and Amurru still in Hittite hands, Egypt had clearly failed to reassert its past influence over the region. The Hittites were also able to pursue the retreating Egyptian forces south as far as the city of Damascus, and briefly took the city from the Egyptians. Later, a new border would be drawn up by the 2 powers, just to the north of the city. So even though the battle appears to have been a draw, the Hittites, it would seem, gained the most from the aftermath, despite the biased claims by Egyptian sources that they had been utterly victorious. As we will see next time, tensions would remain high between the two powers for several more years after the Battle of Kadesh, until a more permanent solution could be found. Though a battle on the scale of Kadesh would never again be fought between the two powers. Though, until then, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more new videos every second Friday.